Welcome back. It's time to hit the second half of the Bayside South, and we're going to actually jump right back here to Salisbury at Parkside this time. Last season, the Rams got off to a cold start at 1-5, but they rallied and managed to finish the season at 5-5 now. They did graduate a couple of their key players like quarterback Devin Redding, running back Jason Fox, and wide receiver Juwan Williams. But they've also named their starting quarterback Luke Pitzenbarger, he's in here as well. And we also have Trajan Branch leading at back. And on the defensive side of things, the Rams have Rodney Dawson returning at linebacker. We're going to hear more about Parkside in just a bit. We're going to take things over to Berlin. Stephen Decatur finished at 2-8, which is far from the norm for the Seahawks. They graduated starting quarterback Justin Meekins, which will definitely be hard to replace a player like that, but they will look to reload this year with some guys coming back from injury, especially Tyree Henry. Now, he will be taking the field. He will make some absolute noise out there, so keep an eye out for him this season as well for the Seahawks. And over to Princess Anne as the Washington Jaguars take the field this fall, coming off of their best season since 2003 with a 4-6 record. Those guys are in the house right now. With such a young squad, the biggest emphasis has been to get those young players up to speed, and there have been several upperclassmen that have stepped up into those leadership roles, such as Julius White, who will be the starting quarterback, Travell Jones, who rushed for 1,000 yards last season, and helping him do that is Shamar Grant, who will be returning at O-line as well. Head coach Greg Lisinski expects to do even better this year, but he does remain realistic, knowing where this program has been, but his eyes are set on where they want to go. Now, I didn't lie when I said that we'd have more on Parkside. Spencer and Trey are at the desk with the Parkside Rams head coach, Brendan Riley, with more on what to expect from the Parkside guys this season.
I would have been really tore up if she was lying to us right there. I'm really glad we cleared that up right now. But you're absolutely right. We are joined by the man calling the shots for the Rams. Brendan Riley, coach, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you guys.
First question is, when we look at the season that you guys had last year, it was a slow start. I mean, you start out of the gate 1-5. After that, you guys really picked up and had a strong finish. How do you carry that momentum from one season at the end of it into the next year and hopefully, not come out of the gates as slow as you guys did last time?
Well, I think one of the things we did was make sure that our off season was one in which we prepared our kids with the weightlifting and our summer conditioning programs. We had the best numbers that we've had since I've been at Parkside. We had over 75 kids working out throughout the time. Throughout the summer, we've had 92 kids show up to camp. So, we're ready to go, and guys are itching to get back on the gridiron. We had our scrimmage today, and it was a good thing, so it went well.
Coach, you had Delonte Waters, who I felt was your first big superstar there that ran through your program at Parkside. I would say that second big star was Devin Redding. He wore that number 2 so well, fit him so perfect. He had a Superman-like season. How do you go about, refilling that position and also the leadership that he showed on and off the field?
Well, I think leadership is a concept that's ingrained within the program and within our coaches. We talk to our kids about making good decisions. So when it comes down to it, simply going about it in that way helps prepare each one of our kids to step up into that role. Losing a kid like Devin, to graduation and on to bigger and better things, that's a good thing, because he's getting a chance to take what it is that he's learned from us and go a little bit further. We got guys like Luke Pitzenbarger, who's had a tremendous offseason, guys like Trajan Branch and Quillen Pompolis, and the guys who've really been busting their tail in the weight room, and we're excited about them.
Yeah, speaking of Luke, the red-headed rifle, as it were, we're gonna come up with a solid nickname before the season's done for this guy.
Yeah, he'll like that.
He's a little bit different of your breed of quarterback compared to what you had in Redding. Does that shift, the way that you guys are going to be running your offense this year? Redding, obviously real good on his legs, a little bit better arm, I think, a little more accurate for Luke. Is that going to shift the way you guys are running your offense?
I think our offense is built on multiplicity anyway. So when you have that ability to spread the ball out to a lot of different people, when you have a smart guy who's at quarterback, you're going to be in a situation to really put the ball into the hands of the guys that need to get it. And I think our offense coordinator does a good job of getting the ball to the guys that need to get it, and I think we're going to be okay.
All right, Coach, you see your numbers rising. You guys, I don't know how many guys you had out there at training camp, but as you see the numbers rising and rising, I like to think that before, when I was at Y-High, that it was known to be a school that guys went to for football. Do you feel like there's kind of a changing of the guard in Salisbury, where Parkside is kind of that school now that kids want to go to and are known to play football at?
I think our kids like playing for our coaches. I think that our kids like being in our program. I think what our program represents is one in which that demands excellence, it demands discipline, it demands them to be good quality student athletes. So that's attractive to kids, especially when you got a bunch of young guys and young coaches who really are passionate about what we do. would I like to say that we're the best team in Salisbury? You daggone right, and that's the way we're going to try and keep it.
I met this man at Salisbury University when I was in high school, and he was still as fiery as he is now.
Got
Thank
a nice
you so
little
much
ring
for
on his
joining
finger
us.
right there, too.
Thank you so much for joining us. Still so much to come. Of course, we did not forget about the Henlopen North. 7 more previews, and Coach Billy Collick is on the way. Stick around.
Triston Harris, quarterback for Dover High, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.